Hey friends, this is Lyubaka for Facebook Live, and with the season opener I want to give you a couple of tips about fishing with a fishing guide. So first things first, when you need to show up, you want to give them ample time. So if you agreed on 6 a.m, make sure you show up at about 7. This way they get enough time to put the boat in, to get everything ready. When you show up at the dock, you need to be prepared. There's no room for compromise, so you need to bring a very trusty rod. Make sure it's a bait casting rod equipped with a 1-bearing spinning reel with at least 80-pound test line. Don't bring any sunblock. It's a sign of weakness. You want to show that you're a man, so don't bring any sunblock with you. That's very important, remember that. As far as food goes, make sure you stop at a Taco Bell drive-thru and have at least 3 burritos, maybe a couple of chalupas, and wash them down with about half a gallon of cold milk. That's very important. You have to have all of your different protein sources, fats, sugars. This way you're going to have enough energy for the trip. Motion sickness. Dramamine, shmamamine, don't take any of that stuff. Now, fishing guides are a group of people that are very prone to be environmentally friendly. So if you do get sick on a boat, don't tell them. You don't need to tell them any of that. And if you get sick, don't throw up overboard, because what happens is you're going to be polluting. So you want to use either the live well. I'm going to talk about that a little later. So there is a section of the boat that's called a live well. That's for your well-being. So if you're going to be getting sick, you want to open that up and do your thing there. Or just somewhere on the boat. They'll clean it up. Just don't throw up overboard. Food, make sure you bring bananas. Now, there is lots of different stories. Those are all myths. You want to bring bananas, that's important. Actually, they might think of you less if you don't bring bananas. So they will ask you, usually at the marina, and it's more of a test to see how you react. So don't tell them that you're bringing bananas. Wait until you're about 5-6 nautical miles out at sea, and then make sure you share. Offer them. Ask, hey captain, would you like a banana? That's a very polite way of asking. Water, don't bring any drinking water. As much beer as you can. Actually, before you get on the boat, you should take a couple of shots of rum. Because captains are a marine breed. They're kind of like pirates. They're used to drinking a lot of rum, so you want to be like them. You want to show yourself, you want to present yourself, the tough guy you are. Fishing stories. It's very important to tell them 2 different fishing stories. One, it has to be a story about how you and your grandpa back in the day caught the state record. Now there's 2 outcomes of that story. If your grandpa was a liberal, you never measured the fish, you let it go. If your grandpa was a conservative, you ate the fish with the entire village. You never measured it, but it is the state record. That's a very important point to make. And the other fishing story you have to always tell, because they really want to hear it, that story is about that big fish that lives under the dam near your city. That story always goes like this. There needed to be repairs done to the dam, so a diving crew came from the closest big city. Divers went down, they popped right back up, their hair turned white, and they said they're never diving again, because there's huge fish laying all around that bottom. A catfish is a good story for that, so always say it's a catfish. They need to know these stories. It's important to ask them if you have to have a license to do what they do. That's crucial. You want to make sure that you ask them that question. Bring bait. There are several suggested baits you need to bring. You want to bring corn, you want to bring chicken livers, and you want to bring a big vat of night crawlers. That's very important. When you go fishing, you want to show that you know your baits. And you're going to ask your captain, when we're going to park so I can soak a worm. You need to know the lingo. Now let's talk about the live well. Boats nowadays are very modern, and they have a lot of very expensive equipment. One of the most important parts of a boat is the live well. Now it's called live well because it shows you all the modern amenities of living right on the boat when you're out at sea. So when you need to use the restroom, you have to find the live well. Usually it has a lid that opens up, and if it's empty, ask them to fill it up for you. So once you're done with your business, ask them where to flush, because all of them are different. They're a little intricate, so you might want to ask them where exactly is the flusher so you can flush the live well. If you go number 2, just wash yourself with the water from the live well. Names. It's very important to never use the captain's name. Come up with a kind of an insulting little nickname. For example, if his name is Nick, you're gonna call him Captain Nancy. Now you want to show them who's the boss. When you catch a fish, you want to show them that you've watched all of those bass fishing videos. You want to be like Mike Iaconelli. When you grab the fish, you get in their face and start screaming, "Yeah!" You want to show them you know that, because not all of them know about this. You want to ask them always if they have a real job. That's very important. You're going to ask them, is this what you do full-time, or do you have a real job? They like that question. You want to have that question right there ready for them. Now, important, when you take pictures, you want to post them on social media and always put the GPS coordinates. So ask. If you don't know what the GPS coordinates of the spots are, ask your captain. He'll be really happy to give you the coordinates so you can post them online on social media with the pictures of the fish you catch. That's crucial. Another question you need to learn how to ask promptly. As soon as you get on the boat, you want to ask about the local regulations. So you want to ask them, what size is the legal size for muskie and how many can we keep? Because on every water there's different regulation. You want to make sure that they know. So you ask the proper questions, you show them you're prepared, you show them you have respect for the waters. Some place you can keep only 1 muskie, some place you can keep 2. You want to show them you want to keep a muskie, and you want to ask them about good recipes, how to cook a muskie. Tipping. When it comes to payment and tipping, captains can be a little different. One thing you need to remember, never bring cash. Always ask how to pay with a credit card. Ask if you can use competitors' coupons. Ask about cashback policy and return on service. When the time comes to pay, the price is just a guideline. Whatever you agreed upon originally, make sure you bargain. Captains are kind of a gypsy breed, so if you just agree to the price, it doesn't make them happy. To give them full joy, you always want to bargain. You want to tell them that they were kidding. You want to tell them that you didn't bring any cash, so you want to pay by credit card, or you want to mail them a check. They like that. That's important. You want to do that. Tipping. Now, a lot of captains have had military service, so you want to do the same like you do with regular military personnel. You want to tell them that you appreciate them, you thank them for their service, make sure you shake their hand very firmly and tap them on the shoulder. Tipping not required. You don't want to insult them by hand-me-downs, right? What else? I'm sure there's something else. If you feel like I didn't say something that needs to be said when you're out fishing with a guide, put it in the comment section. I'll get back to you. And make sure you have fun on the water, alright? Another thing that is a good guide for you, subscribe to my YouTube channel, LyubakaVideo. I knew I was forgetting something, probably the most important one. Fishing guides, captains, they really love it when the guest drives a boat. So don't ask, just jump in and drive. They'll be happy to see that. Guys, all kidding aside, what fishing guides do, these dudes are badass, modern day savages. I got the world of respect for them. So treat them kindly, be respectful to these guys. Fishing guides are the backbone of the recreational fishing industry. If it's not for them, none of the stuff that happens around will be possible. They're out there day in and day out, braving the elements, finding fish, so when you and I get a day off, we can actually get them some work. And I want to shout out to Jeff from JMB, to Chris from In the Bag Guide Service, Jesse, dear friend of mine from Green Water Walleyes, Eric from Big Fish Guide Service, Joe from Striker Guide Service, and Jim from Never Skunked. Guys, you keep doing what you're doing. I've learned a lot from you, stolen a lot of tricks. What am I? I'm just making funny videos out there. Be good, guys. Be good, be safe, have a great season. Hopefully it's a prosperous year for you, and hopefully nobody takes any offense except for you, Captain Nancy. Your check is in the mail.
Don't forget to subscribe. Audio Jungle.